Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap Ring Chronicles. Today we're coming back at you with another Ratchet video. Today's Ratchet is a company that I think is pretty interesting. I kind of like. It's called Pro America, which is kind of a kind of a funny name. Pro America. But before we get into this, if you find these videos helpful or entertaining, could you please subscribe to this channel and give me a like. And I've been trying to I had a little goal going where I was trying to get 500 subscribers by New Year's or around New Year's, and I'm falling a little bit short. So if you guys can help me out, I would really appreciate that, and subscribe to this channel. Okay, this Pro America, and of course with a name like Pro America, it has to be made in the USA. So here we go. It's Pro America. It's a 5150 model and made in USA. It's a roundhead ratchet, and the handle, as you see, is knurled. Kind of, it feels like a good knurling. Like, it feels aggressive, but in spots you can see that it's probably not the best in certain spots. It's not uniform all the way around. Like here you see it's pretty aggressive, and then here on the side it's kind of flat in sections, and that looks like it came from the factory like that. Doesn't look like it's been hammered or anything. Just looks like it's a section of a flat knurling there. But in other sections of the knurling, it looks pretty good. And here's the end, and here's a profile of the head. It's a 3/8 model, and Pro America. There isn't much online about Pro America. The only thing that I could find hints of, and because I own both ratchets, it seems that they're related to another company, Cal, K-A-L. I think Cal was, I'm not sure what state they're from. I want to say California, but then I'm like, maybe I'm just thinking of the name Cal. But they were, I think, in the 60s and 70s and probably some of the 80s, Cal was, you see a lot of their ratchets floating around, and I think they sold mainly to contracts. Like, I think they had a contract with the military or something like that, and you see a lot of Cal ratchets floating around, but I think those were like contracted by the US military or government agencies. And I think that's how they conducted business. I don't think that you could have gone into like JCPenney and bought a Cal ratchet. I don't think that that's how they were sold. I think most of the business was government contracts, and I think Pro America is an offshoot of Cal. I can't really prove it through direct evidence, but I've opened up Cal's and I've opened up Pro America's, and they look pretty much identical inside. And I know that Pro America was also another contract. They had like government contracts. Excuse me. If you look at some military tool sales and stuff like that, you see the name Pro America pop up in sets and stuff like that. That they were, I think they were sold to government and military. You know, they were primarily sold as contracts. I'm not sure if they were sold retail. I did have a Pro America, and it did have a hanging. It was a new old stock, and it had a plastic wall hanger. It had the plastic thing with a hole in it that you would hang in the retail store. So I'm thinking maybe they did have some retail sales. I can't prove it. I don't know, but from that tag it led me to believe that it was to that plastic retail tag was made to hang on a store because it had that kind of that hole where you would hang in a rack somewhere, like in the aisle. But these are pretty good ratchets. I opened it up already. Here's the ring. It comes with a coil ring on this side, and I'll show you the inside and show you what I mean. These are a double pawl, so they're pretty strong mechanisms for a round head. You can see the offset pawls here. One is more front towards the switch, and one is closer, more towards the back, towards the anvil. Let's take a look at the teeth and the head. The teeth look pretty good. They look decent. They don't look all that special, but they're pretty big and they seem to be in good shape. Here's a look at them. The broaching doesn't look too bad. And this is pretty thick, the thickness of the walls here of the ratchet itself, and the broaching looks well centered too. Doesn't look like it's too much, the hole is too much that way or this way. It looks like it's decently centered, and there are no cutouts here. It's just broached straight through. Either end, I guess you can reassemble this with the switch going that way, or you can reassemble it like that. It wouldn't matter because there's no cutouts here for any features on the head or the mechanism. So yeah, those are the teeth. I didn't count them. I would say in the 30s, probably 30 something. But this is a double pawl, so I think it gives double the positions. So if this was 36 teeth, you would have 72 positions, because these are kind of like offset pawls where one clicks in and the other clicks out, kinda. So it gives like double the positions of the number of teeth here. And here's a look at the mechanism. Like I said, 2 pawls, 3 teeth per paw. I mean per side on each paw. They have 3 teeth. There's a look at the teeth. And to take this apart, what you would do is there's a plunger on each paw. I would just, whatever paw sticking up, I would press it down. Both of them at the same time. Press that one and this one, and try to get the plunger underneath this post here. Like that. And you can see it underneath there. You see it peeking out, the plunger hole. So the plunger is sitting underneath here. And now this is kind of the delicate part. There isn't much to grab here, so I just grab a magnet and I carefully pull out. Little by little, like that. You see it coming out there. And then I grab as enough there where I can grab the edge here. So I would just grab that and then wiggle it a little bit, and the plungers are going to start to come out. And one flew out. Here it is. Here's the plunger and the spring. Let me get a napkin, because this looks a little oily. There's that plunger, and then you still have another one for the furthest paw, and you pull that out and you put your fingers there to cover the holes so it won't shoot out. And here's that plunger and spring. And here's the switch, and here are the holes where the plungers sit. And this is what the switch looks like. And then you have the double paws. Oh, let me grab a smaller magnet. And I just grab the pins for the paws. This is what the pins look like. Decently thick, not too bad. And the paws. The paws look like that. There's 3 teeth, like I said. This is what the bottom looks like. And the top and the sides. Both holes, both sides of the hole are chamfered, so pretty easy to get the pin in. And this is what the mechanism housing looks like. Looks like a decently milled piece here. That's the ball detent. Looks not quite centered, but it works. These paw channels. Okay, to get this back together, just take your paw, put it back in the channel, kind of line up the holes a little bit there, then you stick your pins in, and you grab your next paw, put that there, and you line up the holes a bit, and you drop that pin in. Okay, here's the tricky part again. So one hole and one plunger is farther up the pin, and one is closer to the switch. So the one that's farthest from the switch, the hole, you put your first plunger in there, like that. Because that plunger is going to sit underneath this farthest paw here. So what I do is I try to get them underneath the post again. And then I take like a little needle nose and I squeeze it. And I get that one in. But not all the way in, because we need to get the other one, the other paw, the other plunger and spring. So just grab your needle nose again, grab your plunger and spring, and you drop that into the hole like that, and you mash that down and you press it in. You see how it's in like that, and it's underneath the post. You push it in all the way, and we got to get that plunger that's closest to the switch underneath this close paw here, so we switch it this way and it clicks in, and both plungers are switching and doing their job. Okay, now we just take the mechanism and drop it back into the handle or the head here, and I always put the switch part where the leathers are facing up, so that's where I put the switch. But if you had to, you can do it on the other side also. And then you just put your coil ring on and you'll be finished. And you test it out. You hear that double click? See if you can see it. See if I can get it. You see how one's moving this way and then the other one engages that. One's moving this way and then the other one engages that way. See if you can catch that. See that one move down. This one's gonna move probably a little bit up that way. This one moved this way. That one moved that way. So, I don't know. All in all, I think it's a pretty neat Ratchet Pro America. I like the name. The name's a little, I don't know. The name's a little cheesy. Yeah, I'll say that for it. But a good company makes good tools for U.S. government and military and other contracts. And the mechanisms are pretty sturdy. Double pawl design. The metals look good. The broaching looks good. So all in all, a decent, nice roundhead ratchet. I did other reviews on other Pro Americas. I did one on the 1/2 inch, and there was one with a flex head, and I think I even did one with a 1/4 inch, and that one had a different mechanism in it. So if you want, you can check those out. Okay guys, until next time.